Did anybody ever explain to you why you're in a guardianship?
No, not exactly. But you know what? There are some things that I do know for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I understand because it's about my money. You know what I'm saying?
Can you talk to me about how Wendy ended up in a guardianship?
My understanding is somebody was in her bank account that Wells Fargo flagged, and there was large withdrawals being taken out.
My son, you know, he overstepped his boundaries in terms of me. You understand? He overstepped his boundaries, and he was inappropriately using my money.
So, you didn't think Wendy's son, Kevin Jr., was all that innocent, did you? Well, guess what? Wendy has finally broken her silence. And honey, the truth is coming out. Her own son has been using her for his own selfish needs. There's literally no one in her family looking out for her. They're all just trying to get their hands on her money. Wendy revealed from the comfort of her luxurious prison that it was Kevin Jr. who's responsible for her being trapped in a conservatorship. He was bleeding her dry, spending her money like it was water, and kept her completely in the dark about where it was going. And y'all, that's scandalous. This is some real messy business because Kevin Jr. is supposed to be Wendy's heart. For him to treat her like this, just like his father did, that's low. And here's the real kicker. Wendy admitting this, that says everything about how shady his spending was. This wasn't just reckless, it was downright nefarious. He took her trust and turned it into something ugly.
Like, is he stealing from me? Look, all I know is that in terms of what I'm dealing with, and that this is still going on because, you know, that's when my money got frozen at Wells Fargo. Thank God. No more money stealing from my son and the other people.
When it comes to Wendy's conservatorship, there's a whole lot that doesn't add up. Like, why in the world did Wells Fargo freeze Wendy's accounts? Were they just being greedy and ruthless? Or was there something darker at play? And let's talk about what the court actually saw or heard that made them think Wendy needed a legal guardian to control her life. Was it all above board? And here's the real kicker. Why did the court decide that no one in Wendy's family, not even her own son, was fit to be her guardian? Kevin Jr. wasn't saying much. He just mumbled that the conservatorship wasn't good for his mom. But you gotta wonder, why stay so quiet? Even Wendy's niece was reluctant to spill any details, only vaguely mentioning Wendy's relationships and her deep love for Kevin. But that's it. No one's really talking about what actually went down behind the scenes.
As long as she has people around who are yes people, the same thing is always going to occur where she would ultimately just find any excuse to be by herself so she can get back to drinking.
Back in 2022, when Wells Fargo froze Wendy's accounts, they dropped a bombshell in court filings. Wells Fargo had strong reasons to believe that Williams was the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. But hold up, they never said who was behind it. We all knew there were people circling Wendy like sharks, just waiting to take a bite. Take her ex-manager, Bernie Young, for instance. Dude charged $10,000 to her credit card just to hire a lawyer and file for guardianship over her. It was like a feeding frenzy, with everyone trying to sink their claws into her. And Wendy, she couldn't keep up with the mess due to her health, but now things are about to get real spicy. Wendy's just filed to end her conservatorship, claiming she's doing better and has finally regained the capacity to take control of her own life. And here's the jaw dropper. Wendy's come to grips with how she was betrayed by the people closest to her, including the one person she should have been able to trust most, her son. Can you believe it? Kevin Jr. is the reason she ended up in this whole conservatorship nightmare in the first place. He set her up. That's some next level betrayal, y'all. When Wendy dropped that bomb, I had to clean my ears out twice because what do you mean? He's the reason you're stuck in this luxurious prison? Kevin Jr., the one person you thought had your back, and he's the one who got you locked in this mess?
I eat lunch and dinner in my bedroom. I don't eat out there with the people that live here just because it's so goddamn depressing. There's a bathroom, there's a closet, and the TV, which was purchased by me through the guardian person.
Are you allowed to go out?
No, I am not allowed to go out. I can call you, but you can't call me.
What about communications? Do you have an iPad or some form of a computer?
I have not. Listen, I've asked the guardian person for an iPad since since years, it seems like. But an iPad. Can I please have my telephone back? Can I please be able to call, my family? What is the problem with me calling and talking to friends of mine? They're not allowed to come in here, friends of mine.
Wendy went through 4 or 5 devastating miscarriages before she had Kevin, and if you were tuned into her show back in the day, you'd know she always called him her miracle baby. She poured all her love into him while juggling a messy divorce from Kevin Sr. and battling addiction. Wendy grew closer to Kevin, trying to build a deeper bond, and even went so far as to call him the man in the house. But here's where it gets cold. Even after Wendy was locked out of her own accounts, she tried to have Kevin step up as her power of attorney. And guess what? The bank slammed the door in her face. That's low. Now, Wendy's coming clean, admitting the shocking truth. Kevin Jr. took full advantage of her ill health and completely swindled her. He was spending her money like it was a bottomless pit, honey, draining her bank account like it was nothing.
He has a way of getting with, a couple of other people. You know what I'm saying? My son is not the only one, involved with my money. You know what I'm saying?
In September, we know the judge said this in court. While Mr. Hunter, that's the son, Kevin, apologized for past mistakes and inappropriate behavior, the court is not convinced that he can keep her safe and wouldn't willingly or unwittingly expose her to financial exploitation. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Kevin has denied any impropriety when it came to Wendy's finances, and also that he cannot speak on camera because he's not allowed to per the judge. If Wendy is released, should she be placed under the care of her son, Kevin?
No. This is how we got here in the first place.
Wendy's former financial advisor at Wells Fargo, Lori Schiller, was actually trying to look out for Wendy when she advised the bank to take control of Wendy's finances. But here's where the story gets twisted. Kevin Jr. would constantly run his mouth, making it seem like the bank was just out to steal from his mother. He spun the narrative so well, but let's be real. A lot of us thought Wells Fargo was just being greedy and ruthless too. Now, did the bank handle things poorly? Absolutely. But let's not forget, because of that intervention, Wendy still has something to fall back on. So, while Kevin Jr. was out here playing the victim, the bank's actions might have been the very thing that saved her in the long run.
Is a really good person. You know what? Oh, God, I'm not going to cry about that. Oh, I'm sorry for cursing. Look, my son is a good person, but at this point, he is a horrible person to me. You know what I'm saying? It's the way he moves with other people. You know what I'm saying? And what's going on with these other people at my apartment in Miami? What are you doing? Oh, you spent on what? And what is going on at Wells Fargo?
Back in 2023, Kevin Jr. flat out denied the bombshell claims that he stole over $100,000 from his own mother. He tried to spin the story, saying he only used the money for Wendy's treatment during her Lifetime documentary. But baby, that's where the story gets murky. He claimed his mom approved of everything he spent, and that she was never stingy with him, always willing to give. But let's be real, does anyone believe that?
I've never taken it without her concern. I've always spoke to her, and she's always wanted me to spend her money.
But baby, according to Wendy now, that story Kevin Jr. spun doesn't hold a drop of water. Kevin had access to everything, her credit cards, her phone, her accounts, and he started running wild with her money in ways Wendy never gave him the green light for. We're talking about $113,000 for a yacht rental for his 21st birthday, and then another $120,000 on his 24th birthday. And let's not forget, unless he was feeding the entire block, taking care of every homeless person in sight, and putting out a full-on buffet for stray animals, how in the world did Kevin rack up $80,000 on Uber Eats alone? Seriously, do you think Wendy would drop $2 million on an apartment for him while he was still in college? Or let him throw a birthday bash that cost that much? Please. Wendy always prided herself on being frugal. This was a woman who brought her own hot sauce to restaurants up until her divorce. She was still living in her own home in New Jersey, only leaving when her health took a hit, shuttling between New York York and Miami for treatment. The thing is, Wendy did want her son to have her money, but Kevin Jr. went too far. And let's be honest, who wants to bet Kevin Sr. had a hand in this whole mess? It's hard to believe that his father didn't push him to go all in, as long as he was getting something on the side. If you catch my drift, Kevin Jr. felt entitled to Wendy's fortune and thought he could get away with treating her however he wanted because he watched his father do it for years, walking away with millions while leaving Wendy in the dust. Like father, like son, baby.
But I think that there are other options at this point in terms of who can care for and make sure that his mother at 60 years old is taken care of properly.
Kevin Jr. was old enough to know better, but he saw his mom as nothing more than a cash machine. He used her addiction to keep her in the dark, playing her like a fool. In that TMZ interview, it came out that the bank tried to contact Wendy, but when they couldn't reach her, they froze her accounts. And get this, Wendy said her son wouldn't even give her back her phone when she asked. That's cold, baby.
It seems as if they weren't able to get in contact with Wendy, so Wells Fargo pursued guardianship.
Hunter and Wendy!
She was living with her son, I believe. Wells Fargo decided the prudent thing to do was to make sure she's not being taken advantage of.
Correct.
What is going on with my son? And where's my phone? Where's my phone, Kevin? Where is my phone? Why are you keeping my phone? Why? And there was nothing that I could do without my phone. You know what I'm saying? Who am I going to call? I don't know anybody.
It's clear Kevin Jr. didn't want the bank spilling the tea to Wendy about what he was really up to. He even went as far as getting an older woman to pretend to be his mom just so he could access money without anyone blinking an eye. That's cold-blooded. It's heartbreaking that Wendy was betrayed by the one person she trusted and loved the most. She put him on a pedestal, adored him like no other. Even now, she's still trying to defend him, calling him a good person, despite everything he's done to her. But let's be real, no one's buying it anymore. Someone wrote, giving birth to your enemy is a different type of pain. Someone also wrote, Kevin Hunter Jr. was her pride, and she loved him with all her heart. He found nothing better than taking advantage of his own mother during a moment of weakness and betrayed her. This whole situation is just beyond heartbreaking. Wendy's going to need a solid support system to pick up the pieces, and Kevin Jr., he's got a long way to go before Wendy can ever trust him again. But let's talk about it. What do y'all think? Can Kevin Jr. really redeem himself, or is this betrayal too deep to come back from? Sound off in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And before you dip, make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button. And let's keep the conversation respectful and full of love. Voila. Until next time.